And welcome everybody. I just mentioned for some of you that didn't come on, welcome to our late winter day, even though it is technically spring. We had some chilly weather and some snow. I mean, I don't think we really had much. Maybe it just kind of disappeared, but there is a couple of snowflakes I saw this morning. Saw some last week as well in Maryville. So, and then we had the big snows a few weeks ago. So we're not quite out of the woods yet. We have a couple of nice days, but nothing sustained. So in any case, I just want to welcome everybody to the MERIL networking meeting. Just a little for history for those of you that may not be aware. Traditionally, we've done these in person, but obviously during the pandemic, we've had to switch to a Zoom meeting format, which has really been pretty good in some regards. I enjoy the actual connecting with people in person. I think that's a lot better. You get you meet people, you get to actually connect with people a little bit better, but this is certainly something we're used to, and it's not the worst way to go about things. But the main purpose of the networking meetings is really to connect with people, is to kind of explain a little bit about your services, your service area, who you work with, who you work for. Also, anything that's special coming up that you might want to let folks know about, something in your agency that I think would be good, kind of a community service announcement and those kinds of things. So what we do, and I'll go ahead and take the lead and kind of model what I think is appropriate for this meeting. And again, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rob Honan. I'm the director of MERIL. I've been here for over 5 years now. Time flies. We provide services to individuals with disabilities in 9 counties in Northwest Missouri. We do that through 3 major programs. We've got the Independent Living Program. That's how MERIL started. We are what is called a Center for Independent Living. There's 22, as you can see, Christopher sharing the screen there. There are 22 excuse me, centers for independent living in Missouri. And we do provide 5 core services on the independent living program. And real quickly, those are information referral, independent living skills training, advocacy, which is extremely important, peer support, and then also transition services for youth, as well as folks who want to move back into the community from nursing homes. So those are the 5 core services of the IL program. We also provide, and really the greatest part of our revenue is the Consumer Directed Services Program, or CDS. A lot of you may be familiar with that. That's a program where the individual with a disability is the employer, and they could hire anybody to help them at home. Mainly it's housekeeping, some laundry, dressing, some cooking and cleaning and those kinds of things. The individuals that are eligible for the program have to be on Medicaid. Also, you have to have an assessment by the state in order to qualify for the program. You have to have a certain level of care score, or LOC score. So the Consumer Directed Services Program is really wonderful for a lot of people with disabilities in our 9-county area. We also have what is called an in-home program. So we have the IL program, the CDS program, and our third major program is the in-home program, and that's divided into 2 sections. We have nursing. We have 2 nurses on staff that provide about 200 nursing visits to our participants per month. The main focus of that is medication management, diabetics, nail care, skin care, just some of those things. Those are some of the basic things that our nurses provide our participants. And the other part of the PCA, the in-home program, is the PCA, or personal care attendant, personal care assistants, or personal care attendant, however you want to verbalize the PCA. It's similar to the CDS program. The difference in the model there is that those attendants or aides actually work for MERIL, and we assign them to participants who cannot hire, or maybe can't find an attendant themselves. So the duties and the tasks are very similar. So having said that, one of the main takeaways I'd like to give you all is that we're always looking for attendance in both the CDS as well as the in-home PCA program. So as Christopher's flashing the screens there, if you know of anybody that would like to work as an attendant, we have plenty to offer. Most of our participants are in St. Joe or Buchanan County. Obviously, we have an office in Nottoway County as well. We have a lot of folks up there. And then we also have a lot of folks in Andrew County. We don't have so many up in the, Holt, Gentry, Worth. We have some in Clinton and DeKalb counties. So we have 9 counties, and I think I listed 7 of them. But in any case, so we've been an organization for about almost 28 years now. I mean, that's amazing. We celebrated our 25th anniversary not so long ago in 1994. We are now celebrating our 28th anniversary. So we've been around a long time. So that's the basic gist. Now, one announcement I have before I turn it over to our next speaker, who will be Bobby. I'm going to basically go in order, if you could see on the agenda. We are actively looking for board members for MERIL. We have a great group of board members right now, but we had a couple of folks term off. And if you or anyone you know is interested in serving on a board, there's really no experience necessary. All they have to do is be committed to the well-being of MERIL, attend 6 board meetings a year, it's not a whole lot, serve on some committees, and just basically be connected to the disability world. I think those are the main things. Having a disability is also a big plus. One of our federal requirements is that our staff and our board membership must be at least 51% disabled. In other words, at least 51% of the people have to have a disability to be a member of our staff. We have about 75 or 80% of our staff have disabilities, and just over 51% on the board. So if you know of anyone who would like to be a board member or explore that possibility, we are having a meet and greet meeting coming up in the very near future. We've scheduled it for April the 4th. So we're hoping to keep that. It may be changed, but it's going to be that week for sure. So if you know of anybody, please give me a call, and I'd be happy to answer any additional questions about that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop my part. I realize we have about 8 people, so if we could try to keep it, and I probably went over, of course, 5 to 6 minutes of tops, I think would be really good, just because of time constraints. But in any case, I'm going to turn it over to Bobby Cronk, who's with the United Way of Greater St. Joseph. And Bobby, I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you. I'm going to mute and just give you the floor. So take it away.
Okay, thank you. So I didn't have a slide to share, but I wanted just to give a brief overview. I feel like most of you are pretty familiar with United Way. The primary role really is to raise money for our partner agencies and then oversee the allocations of those funds. We are in the middle of recruiting for allocations. So if you want to volunteer to be part of the allocations process, it's a great way to learn more about some of the agencies in our town. And then we also have initiatives that serve to, I guess, they work in different areas. So something that might be of interest to you all, that if you're not aware of it, is our volunteer center. So Jody Fleury here runs the volunteer center and helps connect people with volunteer opportunities. So if you have a volunteer opportunity, you can list it on the volunteer center. I recommend just chatting with Jody about that. Also, she runs what's called CVERN. I don't know what the acronym stands for. It's a networking group for those who use volunteers. And again, that's open to anyone. Similar to the Volunteer Center, any nonprofit, essentially anyone could post volunteer opportunities, and anyone can be a part of CVERN if that's something that is a core part of their work. Like if you want to reach out and be part of the network, you're welcome to. I actually work on the early childhood component. So my program, my initiative is Success by 6. We work to build partnerships in the community to help children enter kindergarten ready to learn. So what that means is supporting childcare providers and other out-of-home environments the child is in, supporting parents, making sure they have the tools and resources they need to be their child's first teacher, and then looking at the systems that impact young kids and advocating for those changes that we know need to happen to make sure kids have what they need to start school. And it really is a partnership. So I staff it, but really it's kind of like I essentially try to keep up with the volunteers and the organizations that we bring together to work on these different issues. One of the things we have coming up is a training for childcare providers and parents. It'll be at McCarthy Baptist Church next Thursday, March 31st from 6 to 8 o'clock. Jean West, Latanya Williams, and Stephanie Melita will be talking about ACEs, so the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study, childhood trauma, and how we can build resilient communities. So that's something, it's free for anyone. We do have a sign up link, and I'll put my email in the chat in a minute here. So if you do want more information or want the flyer, let me know and I'll send it to you. It also does count as clock hours for childcare providers. So there's a little bit of added bonus for those who want to come. Also, so our primary geographic area for United Way is Buchanan and Andrew counties in Missouri and Doniphan in Kansas. But then through Success by Six, we've always had a bit of a larger footprint because we partner with organizations that serve a larger region. So the Educare program out of Youth Alliance and Head Start, they both are really primary partners and they serve a wider area. And then we've also expanded our reach through a couple of different contracts. So we are the capacity building partner for Childcare Aware of Missouri. So we assist and support childcare providers in really the entire Northwest Missouri region. And then we partner with Cameron School District to work on the regional hub model for Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. And they recently, well, let me back up a second. So I mentioned it at our last meeting that regional hub concept is part of the preschool development grant, and it's to align organizations that serve families and to provide families with better access and understanding of what's available to them. This DESE has been very good about listening to the process, and so they've changed things a little bit. Last week, they announced that they're no longer calling them regional hubs, and they're looking at changing some of the geography and how things will be delivered. But it's still as a group that we're bringing together, and we're coming up with a recommendation to the state of what that might look like. But it looks like our role in the whole thing is going to be more of bringing entities that serve families together. So if that's something you want to be a part of, and if you haven't heard about it yet, please, again, I'll have my email in the chat. Please send me an email. And it's a kind of a, how do I put it? It's a figuring out how as we go kind of group. Like we are rolling with the changes the state is giving us, but we continue to stay focused, and we always have been focused on what is the best for our families in our region, and whatever the state chooses to do with that is up to them, but we're going to continue to build relationships and partnerships across the region to serve families. So that's really all I have. If there's any questions, I'm happy to entertain them.
I actually have a question. Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
First of all,
it's a lot.
My question is this. Now, do you have a ready-made volunteer list, or how does that work? I mean, or do you match, or what's exactly the process?
Well, okay, so two different ways. We have, so if you go to our website, there's a volunteer center, or volunteer is one of the calls to action. And we actually partner with United Way in St. Louis. They have a database, like a website where opportunities are matched with volunteers. So so there's that. So essentially, we don't keep track of who wants to volunteer, but we do help nonprofits and churches get their opportunities into this database that then people can search and find. But then also, if it's like a company or something, if you need a large group to come in and help you, call Jody, because oftentimes companies will come to us, like American Family. They do a lot of corporate-based volunteering, and so she'll have companies that she knows needs a day, or a team at Missouri Western or something like that. So we don't really partner. So sorry for the long answer, but we don't keep a list of individuals who are interested in volunteering necessarily. But Jody can definitely help with companies and other groups she knows, who typically look for volunteer opportunities.
Okay, I think you answered my question. So
Okay.
if I have any further ones, I'll give you a call. Just due to time constraints, we're
Okay.
move on unless there are any other questions. All right, thanks, Bobby. Moving right along, AFL-CIO is Are they represented today? I don't know if they are here or not. Going once, twice. All right, Second Harvest. We have Second Harvest.
Good morning. I'm Michelle with Second Harvest.
There you are. Okay, I'm gonna mute my.
So Second Harvest is a nonprofit food distribution center. We serve 19 counties, 15 in Northwest Missouri and 4 in Northeast Kansas. We distribute food primarily through our programs and through our relationships with our 50+ partner agencies throughout our service territory. Some of the programs that most people are familiar with, of course, is our Fresh Mobile Pantry. We have one going on right now over at Lake Contrary, there in St. Joseph, and then another one in Ludlow in Livingston County right now. Right now, we do 2 Fresh Mobile Pantries each working day of the month. I do believe we're going to be reducing that down just simply because the cost of the Fresh Mobile Pantries has skyrocketed with inflation and everything else that is going on. Then many people know about our Backpack Buddy and Campus Covered programs. Those programs are designed specifically to help students that have been identified as food insecure by their schools. And the Backpack Buddy is a weekend feeding program. The children receive a package of food that they can take home for the weekend. And then the Campus Covered program actually goes above and beyond that and is designed to not just help the student, but help the entire family. So the Campus Covered food packs, they have like full boxes of cereal in them. They have pasta, they have canned meats, they have cereal bars in them, you know, just things that the whole entire family can utilize if they're suffering from food insecurity. Then another primary program that is getting ready to kickstart, and I'm sure many of you are excited to hear that we will once again be conducting our No Hunger Summer free feeding sites throughout our service territory. The past couple of years, we have been very fortunate that there has been a waiver to allow the kids to come, get the meals, and then go back to their homes. Unfortunately, that waiver was not continued, so now we have to go back to the sites being congregate meal sites. So the children have to actually eat the meal right there. You know, the downside to that is that, especially in our rural territories, children can't necessarily get into town every single day to eat a lunch, but, you know, we can arrange for a bus to go pick them up once a week to come in town. And then when we were able to have that waiver in place, we could then send home the whole week's worth of meals for the children. So that's something that we're still talking to Congress about and trying to work through. And hopefully in the next Child Reauthorization Act, they will take that congregate meal site plan out of it and put it back to where a child can just pick up a meal and go back to their home. So basically, in a nutshell, that's our programming. We do probably 90% of our work is assisted by volunteers, just like United Way was talking, Bobby was talking, you know, volunteers are what keep us going strong. And anytime somebody wants to volunteer at Second Harvest, all they have to do is give us a call. And Andrew, our volunteer coordinator, he will set that up. We do volunteering in the evening and we do volunteering on Saturdays. So we're pretty open to any of those times. So that was quick and simple. Does anybody have any questions for Second Harvest?
All right, Michelle, thank you so much. That was really good information to have. If there's, and just as a reminder, Christopher will send out information and that's accessible, I think, on our website. Correct me if I'm wrong, Christopher, but he'll send out information directly to folks, and some of this will be available later as well. So if you don't have a question now and you think of it later, you're certainly more than welcome to give Michelle or whoever a call later on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next speaker. We have Ralph from American Red Cross. So Ralph, you're up.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Ralph Shaw with American Red Cross. I'm with Disaster Cycle Services. And of course, we respond to disasters and those people that are displaced from their homes because of disasters. And the primary program I'd like to talk about today is our smoke alarm program, home fire preparedness program. It is, we've had this in existence for many years, but I just want to reiterate this, and especially for, this is a good platform. A lot of you go into homes for home visits. Take a look, see if they have smoke detectors. We provide them free of charge. And the only catch is that we do not give them out, that we must install them. We're open to any of you as our partners to install them for us if you wish, or if you just want to give us their names, phone numbers, and addresses, we will contact them. Please let them know that so they don't think we're spamming them, but we will contact them, set up an appointment. I also have a phone number and a website that you can call, or anyone can call and leave their message on our hotline for a smoke alarm. Again, they need to leave their name, address, and phone number, or there's a website that they can go to. And Chris, just let me know what the best way is to share that with this group. Either send it to you or put it in the chat, however you want me to do that. I'll put the website and our phone number. But yeah, we're trying to spread the word. We've been doing this for some time, and so it's absolutely free. The smoke alarms we're putting in are 10-year, have a sealed battery, lithium battery. It's a 10-year rated battery. So this eliminates the need to go back and replace batteries every year. So that's a definite bonus on that. We don't mess, I don't say mess, replace or work with the hardwired alarms in people's homes, because we're citizen volunteers, not electricians. So if they do have hardwired alarms, we tend to refer those to the fire department, or if they can afford an electrician, but we don't have electricians to do that. So we're strictly talking about the round smoke alarms we put on the wall or the ceiling, absolutely free. We will put in another thing to note, if anybody asks you this, we work with so many counties. We cover, we have office in St. Joe, Kansas City, which is part of the Greater Kansas City Northwest Missouri chapter. We cover 26 counties in Northwest Missouri, and 5 or 6 of those are in northeastern Kansas, Doniphan, Atchison, Leavenworth, Lansing, etc. But so yeah, those alarms are available, and we can put them in or have you do it, and I can definitely share that information. But please let us know. Please share that information. I'd be glad to send you any kind of information you'd like, printed information. We got coupons. That's a good way that we get word out too, that for home service people, that we can provide you with coupons. If you want to drop those off at your clients, and they can call. But we have found that, it is definitely more beneficial. The best way to do that is working with our partners, talking to those clients, because they don't know me, they don't know my volunteers necessarily. So when I offer them something for free, it's received with a little skepticism, which is understandably so. But when they're dealing with somebody that you already have, that already have a relationship with them, and you can verify, yes, this is a free program, there's no spam, there's no sales, there's none of that. We don't want any of that. We're just trying to make the home safer. Oh, what I was getting at, because we work with so many counties, there's so many different fire codes, we don't necessarily adhere to the individual jurisdiction's fire code. We have a standard policy that we put one smoke alarm on each level of the home. If it's a three level home, there's going to be 3 alarms, and could be a 4th one depending on the size and structure of the home. But we are limited to, we average about 2.5 to 3 alarms per home. So we can't Some houses we go into, they may have a smoke alarm in every single room of their house and ask that to be replaced. They may have those old 9-volt ones. That's something to if somebody has the old 9-volt battery alarms. They're a little bit smaller and they're easy to recognize. Those are pretty old. If they have those, we don't have batteries to replace them, but we can go in there and take those down and put up the 10-year-old. So everybody except for the ones that have the electrical powered hardwired alarms is we can service. So just let me know, Chris or Ron, how you want me to share that information. And yeah, please share it widely. Like I say, it's a free service. The more alarms we get in our community, the better. Because we've been doing this national program for about 5 years now, and we've documented over 1,200 lives that have been saved. And that documentation process is very in depth. So we know we probably saved a lot more lives, but that's just with the alarms that the Red Cross people put in. That's not counting the other fire department stuff like that. So it is saving lives, and we want to continue to do so. So thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. I have actually a question, but not necessarily related to the alarm program, but does anyone else have any questions for Ralph before I ask mine? Just want to say that they offer a really nice first aid class, which I took last November. And I'm not sure, are there any refreshers? Because, you know, when you take the class, you tend to forget what you were taught. And I'd love to get a refresher. And I know the class does cost, but are there any refreshers, and do those cost any money, or would someone else be better to answer that? I don't know.
Someone else would be able to give you a more accurate answer. My gut response on that is I think they're all pretty much have some cost to it, but the classes we're teaching too, the Red Cross classes, they are mixed, integrated between online and in person. So the best advice I could tell you or anybody that's interested in any information is go to redcross.org and click on training. And that's where you'll find the information. You can also find a phone number on there for a local person to talk to. The phone number you can call is Red Cross, 1-800-RED CROSS. But I say, if you just go to redcross.org, you'll see a thing for training and certification. Just click on that and we'll take you in there. And it should answer your question that way, because I don't want to give you the wrong answer.
Okay, I appreciate that. Excellent program. You know, the alarm program sounds very valuable. You know, we see fires here and there, and there could be have devastating effects on the community. So this is something that can be prevented very much with the fire alarm. So make sure that your participants know about the program. And again, thanks, Ralph.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. My eyes are not very good. We're going to go to is Matthew here? Yes, go right ahead. Matthew, go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on in the Congressman Graves's world.
Nothing. Everyone's getting along, got it all solved and worked out. So really, it's all good. Everything's handled. You can all rest easy. I'm kidding, of course. It's there's a lot going.
Sarcasm. That's good.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It doesn't seem like very much is moving very far, very fast. But there are some things that are going for anyone interested. We're getting the information together, I think, here in the next, probably by the end of the week. I'm hoping we'll see some information on possibly getting earmarks. They have come back they came back last year, and we got some of them submitted and okay, and they just got funded for fiscal year 22 in the omnibus that just got passed. And so we will be seeking any sort of projects or anything that people have that they would like to get an earmark for fiscal year 23. That's going to be coming up here pretty quick. We just got some information about it actually this morning. Beyond that, we're here to help with, you know, anybody that's having problems with Social Security benefits or VA benefits. Basically anything having to do with a federal agency and one of our constituents. we can step in and act as a liaison between the federal agency and the constituent. What we have is, it's a pretty simple form that we need to fill out. It's called a privacy release form that allows us to kind of act as an agent on the constituent's behalf with the federal agency. But once we have that, we can, intercede on the constituent's behalf. So if it's something like a Social Security disability benefit that was originally classified at, say, I don't know, like 60%, and it should have been classified at, say, 80%, then we can go in and we can work with the Social Security Administration to get that 20% difference. And if it should have been originally classified as at 80%, we can also get the back pay that should have been awarded during that time. And we can do that with VA benefits, really anything, immigration, taxes, people that are having problems with their income tax, which there's a million of them right now, and there has been for the last couple of years since COVID hit. Our COVID cases have really exploded. So if somebody's having problems with that, which can lead to them, having their Social Security benefits leveraged, then we can help with those too. So anything like that. And if there is a piece of legislation coming along, then always reach out and let us know, especially if it's something that we think is going to work one way, but because you guys do it all the time, you can see the problem that it's going to actually make when it's enacted, which we like to think that we know everything and that we're the smartest people around, but we're not. We really aren't at all. So you guys handle a lot of these things every day. And if you can tell us before a problem makes it into law, then it helps everybody, because then we don't have to go back in and fix it, and then it gets taken care of originally. And so those things, if there's something that a waiver that was getting talked about before, then let us know that, and we can see what we can do to support that, or reauthorize it, or what have you. Does anybody have any questions for me while I'm here?
No, I don't, but just regardless of your political affiliation, constituent services is designed to help everybody. And I think, that's one of the things I really like about, congressmen and congresswomen. They provide that really good service to their people that live in their district. So that's pretty cool.
Right. And we actually, there's nothing on our, we would never know if somebody was a Democrat or a Republican when they fill out the form. And even if we did, it wouldn't matter, because you're a constituent, and that's kind of what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, none of that stuff even factors into it. But I'll go ahead and I'll throw my contact information in the chat room for anybody that doesn't have it, that wants it. And if you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to let me know.
I actually
right.
have one more question, Barry, if you don't mind.
Sure.
How often is Congressman Graves in the district, and what's a good way to connect with him? If he's here, if you just want to ask him a question, or maybe have a cup of coffee with him or whatever, is that a possibility, or do you have to go through the DC office, or?
Nope.
Or how does that work?
Contact me, and I mean, the way we do stuff like that is, I would come out and meet first and just kind of say, okay, what are we talking about? And then when the congressman's traveling, and he's going to be around, then we'll set up in a time to come and tour or visit or have a coffee or what have you. And he's back, not as much as he would like. A lot of times he comes, I know, for example, last Friday, he got home, gosh, it must have been about I was almost 10 when we finally when I got him home, because I had to pick him up in Omaha. There were a bunch of storms between DC and here. So he ended up having to he was supposed to fly into Kansas City. He ended up flying into Omaha and his flight got pushed back. So I got him home about 10 o'clock on Friday night. And then he flew out Saturday morning. But he flew himself because he was going to a pilots conference thing. And then I think he was back on Sunday, and then Monday morning he went to DC again for some meetings and stuff. I'm not sure when he's coming back this week, actually. But yeah, so he's back quite a bit. But if he, sometimes he's back for, 24 hours, 48 hours maybe, and then he's back. It really kind of depends week to week on what is going on in DC, and what his speaking calendar looks like and that sort of stuff. So it really kind of depends. But contact me and we can get together and start, seeing what we can set up. If people are interested in having him in for, a tour or a meeting or whatever, yeah, just let me know.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent information.
Thanks,
Appreciate you. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.
If you have any questions, no one.
I have one.
Okay.
I just want to ask a couple clarifying questions. So you said that you can help people with Social Security benefits. Can you help people if the Social Security office is taking an unusually long time? So people I support sometimes need their records released.
Yep.
So if they're receiving Social Security, those sometimes that office is not sending them over to the regional office for 6 to 7. I mean, it's like ridiculously long. Is that something that you can help people expedite that process?
Yes.
And find out. Okay.
We can at least find out where they're at and when for sure, like get a date on when they're going to be gone. And I've not figured out a way to say this in a way that I don't think sounds kind of arrogant, but it's a very different call. If I call, say, the Social Security office and say, hey, this is Matt Berry, I had a couple questions, as opposed to, hi, this is Matt Berry from Congressman Graves' office. I have a question concerning a constituent. Those are very different phone calls. And that's just kind of how it is. But yes, we can help with that. We can help, getting an idea of when those things will be processed and see if we can't nudge it along.
Okay. You mentioned VA benefits and Social Security benefits. Can your office help at all with Medicaid or?
Yep. Oh, no.
Okay. Perfect.
Not Medicaid, Medicare.
Not Medicaid. Medicare.
Because
Okay.
Medicaid is through the state. Medicare is through the Fed.
Okay.
So with a Medicaid case, you would need to talk to your state rep or state senator.
Okay.
And if you do have
Thank
a question about it and you're unsure, you can always give us a call. And if it's something we can't help with, then we can certainly put you in contact with your state rep or state senator, the appropriate, I guess, state rep or state senator, to help them, help them get it sorted for you. Because a lot of times people don't realize too, your state rep and your state senator, they have constituent services too, and they kind of fulfill the same role that we do, only they do it with state agencies and we do it with federal agencies.
So in other words, let's say if someone's on I'm not even sure what the House bill deals with. FSD is so it's probably social services, the representative who serves on that committee would be similar to on the federal level, as on the federal level. They could actually maybe push FSD to, hey, you need to talk to this person because they called me or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Your state rep or state senator can absolutely do that with state run programs.
Okay.
Unemployment's a good one, because basically the way it works is the federal government just basically gives money to the state of Missouri and like here.
Right.
And so, so if there's a problem there, then your state rep, state senator could help. Medicaid, like you were saying, So it just depends on the program, and it can be confusing, and it can be, so if you do have questions, don't hesitate to let us know. I mean, he's sitting out in the other office, and I don't want him to hear this, but a guy that's our casework manager is really good. Like, he's good enough that if I had a problem, he's who I would call for it. So, and he's got some really ridiculous turnaround times on some of this stuff. So, I mean, and if it ever gets back to him, I said it, I'll lie completely and never admit it, but he's really good. So yeah, if you have problems, let us know, and we can, I mean, if you call us and you have a problem, we can get you a PR form emailed out. We have a form that you can even use an electronic signature on. So you can just fill it out, save it, and then send it back. And we can get, cases open probably day of. I mean, depending on what time of the day we end up getting it. Anything that we get before noon, we'll definitely get the ball rolling for that day. But it really kind of depends on what it is. But yeah, absolutely, we're here and we're happy to help, and we're ready to help. So anybody else have anything? Okay.
No,
Well,
fantastic.
thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the information. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's move along. We've got Kim here with the Missouri State Western College. So, right.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Just to talk a little bit about the Center for Service. Our goal is to connect our students with service and volunteerism in the community. We work mostly with students who are actually able to earn up to 3 free credits, 3 free general elective credits through service. So a student serves 40 hours of community service. They write a reflective piece, they do a survey for us, and then a free credit hour goes on their transcript, and they can do that up to 3 times. So we work with a lot of students, especially who are nearing graduation and realize they have a couple of credits they still need to get. And so that's one way we work with our students and getting them engaged. We also act as a liaison for clubs and organizations, athletic teams, if they are looking for service opportunities. I try to have a good handle on the agencies in town and what those opportunities might be. If I've not connected and you have possible opportunities, please let me know. I really work hard to match our students with opportunities that will in some way benefit them with their degree. I have a great example. A few weeks ago, our computer science club came to us and said, hey, we need to do a community service project. Within a matter of a few hours, I had an email from Andrew at Second Harvest saying, hey, I need some computer help. I connected that club with Andrew, and it was a great applied learning experience for our students, and I hope was able to help Andrew out as well. So those are the kinds of things we do, always looking for ways to get our students out and engaged in the community. We also do big group activities. On April 9th, our student government is sponsoring what is called the big event. And we're working with a grassroots effort here in St. Joseph, Beautify St. Joseph, if you've not heard of them. And so we are going out, they've helped us target a neighborhood, and we will send, we have almost 80 students already signed up to go out on that Saturday morning to help in that neighborhood. So please call. If there's anything else at Missouri Western and you're just not sure who to talk to, please use me as a resource. If I'm not the right office or the right person, I can certainly connect you with the right person. So if you're interested in posting a part-time job, looking for college students to work in your organization, I can help get you connected to the right office there. If you're interested in an intern, I can help to connect you there. So please, if there's anything that at the university that you think might be advantageous to your organization, let me know. And like I said, if it's not me, I can help connect you with the right office. Any questions?
Yeah, this is Rob again. Is that your direct number? Because I actually will give you a call about something that,
Yes, 271-4100 will ring right into our office. Yes.
okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for Kim? Oh, thank you for being here and really good information. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next, Catholic Charities, is Eric here? Yes, he is. So Eric, you're up.
Oh. I'm Eric from Catholic Charities. Do the housing for homeless people. We house individuals and families for the Kansas City, Missouri area, Warrensburg. We also do St. Joseph, of course, and Maryville. Basically just Northwest Missouri, and but it's mainly around the Kansas City area. If our folks are able to get into a place, we pay for their rent while on the program and provide encouragement and guidance. We also help them set goals for our clients or folks. I like to call them folks sometimes because, you know, just clients is just too generic. Anyway, we also spend time seeing them monthly or more, depending on their need. The qualifications for the program is just have to walk in the door homeless for at least a year out of 3 years. And it has to be by a traceable, trackable means, such as living in a shelter, maybe policeman seeing where they lived in a tent, or maybe a caseworker is working with this person and knows how long they've been living in a tent or a car or with someone, and can track that. Folks come in without any income or healthcare insurance, EBT, and all they need is a diagnosis of either a mental or a physical disability. We then pay a portion of their rent if they're able to find a place. Sometimes it's difficult depending on their the landlords and their record, which tends to get in the way. If they have income, or we encourage them to sign up for disability, we encourage them to sign up for Medicaid and EBT. We may, after 3 months, take a portion of that, ask them to pay a portion of their rent, because we'll pay the entire rent to the landlord, and then they'll pay Catholic Charities a portion of that. That's called occupancy charge. So it's not something that they can claim on their taxes at the end of the year as a rent rebate. So that's different. And we also encourage them to either, while in the program, after at least a year, to seek maybe a physician if they get their Medicaid, or go to Petty Hall or somewhere and seek some kind of treatment somewhere from some doctor in order to get better, stabilize themselves so they can get their Medicaid, get their EBT, seek schooling or employment, or do volunteer work. So we don't encourage just sitting around and just not doing anything. We like to encourage them to do something with their lives to improve their life, so they can get back on track and then eventually leave the program or get on a different program, such as Housing Authority. Some of the other programs we do is food, which is mainly Kansas City area. Clothing, that's also Kansas City. We have very few clothing in St. Joe, but it's usually for specific programs, like the ones they work with people who come out of prisons and they might not have a piece of clothing to their name, and so we'll try to provide in that area. We do have hygiene products in the St. Joseph area. Job help is coming back online now that the COVID's going away. Adoption programs, pregnancy support, parenting classes. I believe that's coming back in. And veteran supportive services. That's all I have for now. Any questions?
Any questions for Eric? All right, we appreciate your time. Thanks again for joining us. And the next we have Crystal, I believe. She's with the public library. So Crystal, you're up.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm Crystal Stuck and I'm the Community Services and Promotions Coordinator for the St. Joseph Public Library. And just to give you a quick overview of the library systems in St. Joseph, I am part of the St. Joseph Public Library, which has 4 locations in town. We have the East Hills Library by the mall, the Downtown Library at the corner of 10th and Felix, Washington Park Library, which is a couple blocks from Lafayette High School, and the Carnegie Library in the South End. There is also a county library system called Rolling Hills Library, and they have 2 locations, one on the North Belt and one in Savannah. They also have a bookmobile that goes to smaller towns in Andrew and Buchanan County to offer library service. In thinking about what I wanted to say today, talking about all of our offerings and services and programs and trying to fit that into 5 minutes really stresses me out. So I'm going to kind of start off talking about how you can find out all that stuff on your own when you have time. So on the screen right now, you see our library website, and we have a section of the site devoted to kids, teens, and our reference and digital archives. So we have a huge local history and genealogy department at our downtown location. On the right-hand side, you'll see 4 colored tabs. Our calendar of events is huge. If you want to know anything that's going on at the library, it's going to be there. Right now, all of our libraries are back to regular hours, no mask, no time limits, no capacity other than what the fire marshal sets for our buildings. So we are back to pre-COVID hours and regulations, and we are starting to reintroduce in-house programming. Our biggest push there is going to be in May when we start our baby and preschool story times back up. We have options that will fit anyone's comfort levels. So we have the East Hills Library is going to be offering preschool programs inside the library. Carnegie and Washington Park are going to be doing story times in the park outside. And then we'll still have a Thursday virtual option. So our website is just full of information. So I definitely say take a peruse around that. The other slide I sent in was our newsletter. That's just the cover of the April-May that's going to be coming out. If you do not get our newsletter, you can sign up for it on our website. That means you'll get it in an email. You can also pick up a copy in-house at any of our locations, or you can give me a call and we can put you on our mailing list so you physically get the paper copy in the mail. So that will have all of our programming and then also some additional articles about services and things like that. So really quickly, just some things that we offer: books, movies, we have the stuff and everybody knows that. So I really want to quickly talk about some of the extra services that we offer. I oversee our library by mail program. So if you know of anyone who is homebound and can no longer physically come to the library, they can contact me if they live in the St. Joseph Public Library District. And if they don't know what district they live in, I can let them know. There are parts of St. Joseph that are in the Rolling Hills Library District because that's determined by the 1965 city limits. That's a mess, but there you have it. So library by mail allows patrons to have materials, books, movies, audiobooks mailed to their home free of charge. They use the materials and then they send them back free of charge. We give them the means to send those back. We also have started our seed library. So if you or someone you know is interested in starting a garden, you can visit the downtown or East Hills Library and pick out 10 packets of seeds for free. We also have started our Excel Adult High School program, and that's a program I oversee. We only have 10 seats available because each student that we put through this program cost us $850. So if you know of anyone who would like to sponsor a scholarship, This is an opportunity for adults in our community to go back to high school and obtain their high school diploma. This is not high school equivalency. It's an actual high school diploma. Not that there's anything wrong with the high set or GEDs. It's just, it's easier sometimes to go through the classes to get your high school diploma rather than the one-off huge pass it or fail it standardized cumulative test. We're also getting ready for summer reading, so we're gearing up for that. Starts June 1st. Our fishing poles are out. Yes, the library has fishing poles. So if you want to go fishing, but you don't want to spend all the money to get all the things that you need to go fishing, come to the library. You can check that out as well. Really quickly, we have Wi-Fi, we have internet, we have printing, we have scanning, we have faxing, we have notarizing, we have tax forms. I'm out of breath. Does anybody have any questions?
Crystal, hi, this is Kim at Missouri Western.
Yes.
Do you have volunteer opportunities?
Most definitely. Pre-COVID, that's how I talk about the library world. Pre-COVID, we had volunteers left and right helping us with things. For the last 2 years, we've been pretty virtual with all of our programming, which you can find on our YouTube channel. So we're just now starting to find the need for volunteers. We're going to have a kickoff party for the summer reading program one Saturday. We have our fall book sale over at the East Hill Shopping Center, which we always need volunteers for. Our summer reading program, sometimes we need volunteers. So yes, we do have a need every once in a while for volunteers.
Would you be the contact for that, or who would be the
Yes.
contact? Okay,
That would be
perfect.
me. Yep.
All right. We have, we've started a new pilot program with our education department where their students can earn an hour of credit that goes towards their major elective. And so one of the ideas we had, because we try to get those education students into something education related, was possibly some programming with the library. So I may be
Yep.
reaching out about that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Now, yes, I would be your initial contact, but after that point, you would probably get pushed off onto one of our children's librarians or managers. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you.
Hey, can I jump in really quick?
Yes.
So Kim, we have, I'm sorry, this is for Kim Crystal.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
No, but I love everything you do, and we partner with you guys on almost everything parent related. But for Kim, we do a number of volunteer things through Success by Six, including helping serve as greeters for the early childhood screening coming up in April.
Okay.
And we've got 2-hour shifts for people, and it's not really necessarily working with children, but it's greeting them as they come into the screening and showing them where they need to go, their families where they need to go. So if that's something you think for the short term, but then long term too, there's different ways that we get volunteers. We need volunteers for early childhood stuff.
Sure. Okay, great. Absolutely. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions for Crystal? Glad to see everything getting back to pre-COVID or normal, or however you want to frame it.
I call it BC times or COVID.
Absolutely. And I love the library. I mean, it's a great resource, and, I always have a library card, and I think I know a lot of people take advantage of it, but I wish more people would.
Yeah, and I will mention that there's a lot of people that use our electronic content. They don't ever come into the library, and that's okay. So on that website, you see the databases and e-media. So we have streaming, downloadable books, ebooks, audiobooks, streaming television, movies, learn a foreign language. We have universal class that allow you to take like a class in painting, a class on car repair, Tumble Books, which is a kids picture book database. So that databases and e-media tab on that screen has dozens of databases that are free for you to use with your library card. So.
All right, great to know. Thanks so much again, Crystal. I don't think Rita is here. Rita Zotto from Clinton County Health Department. I don't see her, but we do have Colette. So Colette, you're up.
Hi, I'm Colette Cox. I'm here from Progressive Community Services. We are the County SB40 board. We have 2 main programs. So the program that I oversee is called Family Navigation Program. And what that looks like is it's more of an information and referral. I don't know. I always try to explain it and I get a little lost in it. So it's INR and some, I guess is a good way to put it. So our INR is for people that have developmental disabilities or family members whose children either have a developmental disability or they're suspecting that they might have a developmental disability like autism. So what makes our program unique is it's that might have, it's that may be eligible piece. So we can help a family who is just wondering how do they go about getting an assessment? What does that referral process look like? What does the evaluation, what does that day look like? And then we can connect people. So we can connect them with that information. We can also connect them with resources and learning that might be beneficial to where they are in their journey. And then we can also offer them a peer mentor. And so we kind of wrap all these services in, and that's our front door services. If a family already has a formal diagnosis and they're interested in our next level of support, which it would be our targeted case management, our family navigators would help them through all the really confusing regional office paperwork through the Department of Mental Health, collecting all that collateral information from their child's physicians and from their school district, and help them gather all of that up and support them through that process. So they make sure all that paperwork is done correctly, and then they support them while they wait for their eligibility determination. If they're found eligible, then they're assigned a support coordinator through our targeted case management. And that person will help the family identify the needs that they might be having, and then also identify some funding sources like Medicaid waivers, autism project funds, and those sort of things that might provide therapy in the home or community enrichment opportunities, employment opportunities, personal care attendant funding. So we don't actually provide those services, but we help people get access to funding mechanisms so that they can hire providers to come into their homes and let them know who those local providers are and what their options are. So that's kind of what we are overall of what we provide. Family navigation is definitely our most flexible program because it allows us to meet families where they are and kind of support them in the way that makes sense for them. So a family can call us back once a month. They can call us back multiple times. We can set them up with the peer mentor, and all of our family navigators have lived experience, which means they either are the parent and primary caregiver of a child with a developmental disability, or they have a developmental disability. And that's really important to our program to provide that peer mentor piece from the very first contact. And I think that's all I have about our programs. We also have, thanks for bringing that up on the slide because I forgot. The Progressive also has our HUD housing. So we have Keystone and Maples, 2 apartment buildings for people with developmental disabilities where they can live. It's an income-based, it's a regular HUD program. And it's an income-based program where people can live while they work and kind of receive services. So some people live there for many years. Some people live in the apartments for just a few years, and then they decide to become roommates together or move out and live with the spouse or whatever it is they decide to do.
Are there any questions for Colette? I work a lot with Progressive, and they do a fantastic job of, helping people with disabilities in the community. So, we're really happy that they're one of our partners. So thank you very much for coming on and explaining some more about your services.
Thank you.
If there's anything else, I'm sorry, were you already said something else?
Nope, I just thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So basically this concludes, I want to make sure, first of all, I didn't miss anybody. I don't believe I did. And I do want to thank this was a fantastic meeting. It really was. So appreciate all the great information. Christopher, if you don't mind, just telling folks how they could get some of this material down the road, or maybe get back with you in case they forgot something and want to share with the group. Just if you don't mind, just saying what folks could do after the meeting is over.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say you received an email with the meeting link, and it also had these slides attached to it. You might want to hang on to that email. It has everybody's email address who is on the meeting, and so that's going to be a good way to get in touch with them. A lot of the slides that were shared have contact information, whether it's a website or sometimes a phone number. But if you're ever curious about, oh, who was that person who was talking about such and such on a meeting, just send me an email. I have everybody, of course, listed and their contact information from when they registered for the meeting, and I can get that to you as well. After the meeting, we're going to, I'm going to send out probably toward the beginning of next week, just a short survey. It's a 2-minute survey asking you, how did you like the meeting? What can we do to make it better? As well as share with you the link to the recording of this meeting, which will be on our YouTube page and on our website. And in preparing for this, I noticed that some of the last couple of meetings have not been automatically feeding to the website like they should be. So I'm going to fix that, and then also post this one to the website as well. And our website is MERIL, MERIL.org and /resources. So meril.org/resources is where the videos for this meeting and past meetings can be found. And then I have a list here of 2022 meetings we have planned. As of right now, we're thinking these will be held via Zoom, perhaps starting next fall in September and October, November. We may go back to in-person luncheons, which is what we did in the BC before COVID times. And we'll certainly keep you updated about that. But on meril.org/resources, you can find this list as well. And one note about the list, we do tend to divide it into counties. Of course, that started when we were doing the in-person luncheons. We would choose a place, usually in Buchanan County, and host Buchanan and Andrew people. And then we would choose a place in Maryville and have Nottoway, Atchison, and Holt folks show up, and then Cameron for Clinton, DeKalb, Gentry, and Worth. But as far as these Zoom meetings, feel free to attend any of these that you wish. Even if you attended this one and you think that there might be groups in Nottoway, Atchison, or Holt that could benefit from hearing what you have to say, join us again on April 28th or May 25th. It's certainly okay to join and repeat information. It's good for people to hear the same information more than once, and it's good to make sure that you're getting as many new people as possible hearing what your services are and upcoming events and things like that. So, okay, I'll just turn it back to you, Rob.
Christopher actually stole what I was going to say, but he's absolutely right. If you provide services in any of these other counties, you're more than welcome to come in on the Zoom meetings. I recognize, we likely will be going back, if the numbers stay good as far as COVID, to in-person meetings in the fall. But for the next 3, there will be by Zoom. But feel free to drop in. And if you have any questions, just give me a holler, give Christopher a holler. Hopefully, I'm glad there was some really good information sharing. So that's the main purpose of the meeting. So again, we're glad you're here. And without anything else, unless anybody else wants to jump in, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the meeting, but I'll give another quick moment for anyone else to join in and jump in or provide any information they may have forgotten while they were speaking. All right, having said that, I'm going to conclude the meeting at 11:10, and have a great rest of your day, and hopefully the real spring will come around one of these days, and enjoy the late winter / early winter, early spring days. So again, from MERIL, we wish you a great day and take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.